dollars and probably head into retirement or start a podcast. All right, next video.
This is Jimmy Kimmel, the host of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live. On September 15th, just 5 days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Kimmel said the following during his opening monologue.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
So what Kimmel is saying is that the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk was a pro-Trump Republican, even though it had been widely reported that he was an unaffiliated voter who didn't vote in the past 2 general elections, and that he had been deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology. So what Kimmel said was not indoctrinated.
And you know what's so crazy? That was the governor of Utah that said that, Governor Cox.
With leftist ideology. So what Kimmel said was not only a lie, but to many, it was seen as inflammatory. And you might be thinking, wait, isn't this supposed to be a comedy show?
On a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years.
I mean, you know, if the Dems really had any type of, I don't know, humanity to them, they would kind of see that as a deflection from the question. Oh, I'm good. I don't really want to talk about something sad. So let's talk about something, you know, that that's keeping it off my mind. Let's talk about the little ballroom that I'm building instead of my dead friend. Like,
right.
Dog.
And then it's damned if you do, damned if you don't with the left. They're going to spin anything he does. If he had said, you know, this is horrible, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sad, blah, 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 blah. Fucking the left should be condemned for this, blah, 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 blah. And went on with what he did at Charlie Kirk's funeral, then they would have blasted him for the same thing. Like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's gonna get blasted. He might as well just fucking do whatever's on his, say whatever's on his mind, do whatever he wants to do. Because he doesn't matter what he's gonna do. He's gonna get criticized for it, and there's gonna be a concerted effort to stop him. So, fuck Jimmy Kimmel.
Man, I agree with you on that. Definitely agree with you on that one.
And it's gonna be a beauty.
Yes.
Oh, and it's really distasteful to, like, I don't know, make a joke about somebody in mourning. I mean, isn't that, like, come on, like, even the Dems, y'all can agree that is really distasteful.
About 150 years, and it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the 4th stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction.
So nice that Jimmy Kimmel is making fun of someone's grieving process.
Yeah.
Who's he to judge? What a dick.
This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
So just on a human level, why is Jimmy Kimmel making jokes related to a major political figure's murder? Not only is this mean and cruel, but it's really inappropriate. Look, if Jimmy Kimmel thinks that making jokes related to an assassination is okay, I mean, who are we to judge? Maybe I just don't understand comedy. Anyway, 2 days later, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr made a media appearance and suggested,
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel just kind of proved, like, how much they do dehumanize this man Trump. It's like, yo, it's like this man just can't be grieving like a normal person.
No, that's
once you get humanization of this man at a certain point.
Once you get past the idea that they don't think that we're human, they think that we're disposable pieces of garbage and deplorables and all of the things that they've called us for the past 9 years almost now, then you realize this isn't far off the mark for them. This is what they've been doing. Everybody's just been sitting idly by and letting it happen because we aren't the party of violence. They are. So,
I mean, look, guys, if you can, I mean, comedy is it's a dark joke, but I mean, in this time, it is really distasteful and not too many people are laughing, obviously.
Kimmel's words may have violated FCC guidelines.
You can't be engaging in a pattern of news distortion. We have a rule on the book that interprets a public interest standard that says news distortion is something that is prohibited. Likewise, we have a rule that addresses broadcast hoaxes.
Chairman Carr is referring to the fact that the FCC prohibits broadcasting fake information about a crime or a catastrophe if the broadcaster knows that the information is false.
And that's why I said that the FCC kind of has a weak case if they was to go after them on that one, because he can claim plausible deniability, like, oh, I didn't know, I got the news late. He could always say that. But then, Kimmel kind of shoot himself in the foot with this rant that he said, like, oh, I have all these researchers, I have all these writers. Well, you don't think I researched this stuff before I say it? And I'm like, well, if you did, you read everything out there and you still came up that he's MAGA? Like, all right.
And will cause substantial public harm if aired. The FCC is prohibited by law from engaging in censorship or infringing on the First Amendment rights of the press. It is, however, illegal for broadcasters to intentionally distort the news, and the FCC may act on complaints if there is documented evidence of such behavior from persons with direct personal knowledge. In other words, the FCC can't just look at something and go, hey, ABC, your boy Kimmel is saying things that we don't like. They would need to receive complaints about it from the public, and then the FCC would vote on what action to take, if any.
It appears to be clear that you could make a strong argument that this is sort of an intentional effort to mislead the American people about a very core fundamental fact to a very important matter. At the end of the day, if we do get called upon to cast a vote on this, Disney will have a chance to put in their arguments and explain it. But this is a very, very serious issue right now for Disney.
Again, Chairman Carr isn't saying anything about the FCC taking action on their own because they aren't the content police. But you could say that he was making a not so subtle call to action for the viewing public to file complaints and for the people broadcasting Kimmel to do something about it. In their reporting on the matter, The Hollywood Reporter wrote that within hours, multiple ABC station owners held calls with senior Disney leadership expressing their concern with the comments. THR
So it wasn't even the FCC. It was the viewers that called in on this man that said that was distasteful.
Yeah, because
here's the thing. That means it's mainly liberals who called in and was like, hey, yo, that's crazy. It's like, come on now. Like, that's not cool to say. Liberals, basic. Think about it, because who mainly watched this man? It would have to be mainly liberals or moderates or independents. So that his viewers turned around and said, yo, that is crazy. He said that. You guys need to do something.
Reported on Wednesday that Kimmel did not plan to apologize for his comments, but did plan to address the situation on air. So Dana Walden, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, spoke to Kimmel about his plan and how he was going to respond to the criticism, the concerns of the affiliates, and Brendan Carr's remarks. The Wall Street Journal writes, a person close to the show said that Kimmel was planning to say that his words were being purposefully twisted by some members of the Make America Great Again movement. So not only was he not going to apologize, but he was going to double down and blame MAGA. Jimmy Kimmel is a f***ing child. Kimmel had also planned to address FCC Chairman Carr's comments on his show Wednesday night, according to some people familiar with the matter. After the conversation between Kimmel and Walden, she and other senior executives thought that the Star's approach could make the situation worse. In the meantime, Sinclair Broadcast Group and Nexstar Media Group, who operate 66 local ABC affiliates between them, both released statements.
Yeah, okay, so Sinclair was a bit much. Nexstar, they just wanted the man to apologize. Sinclair, they was pushing for this man to not only issue an apology to Charlie Kirk and his wife personally, but to also donate to Turning Point USA.
Well, think about this, Set. Think about this, Set. So they have a public charter or a public license that they get for free with the intent of doing good for the public. That's the reason you get that license. Remember how I said you get free speech, you don't get a free platform? So they're getting a public license and they must do public good with that license. Slandering half the country is not public good. So to remedy that, make an apology, make a donation to the cause, and now, you kind of made your sins equal in the eyes of Sinclair.
And actually, it says it right here in the Nexstar Media Group paper. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC affiliate market. Well,
Which was Charlie Kirk Memorial.
man.
That they would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. Sinclair, the larger of the two groups, wrote, due to the problematic comments regarding the murder of Charlie Kirk in programming provided to its broadcast stations by ABC, Sinclair and its partners, which operate ABC stations.
Dang, so yeah, due to problematic comments regarding the murder of Charlie Kirk in programming provided to broadcast stations by ABC, Sinclair and its partners, which operate ABC stations in 30 markets in the U.S., will stop airing Jimmy Kimmel's show until further notice. Woo!
In 30 markets in the US, will stop airing Jimmy Kimmel's show until further notice. Soon after, Disney, who owns ABC, decided that Jimmy Kimmel Live would be preempted indefinitely. Now, to be clear, the FCC didn't take Kimmel off the air. It was Disney, because his comments about the Charlie Kirk situation have generated too much outrage, and there needs to be a cooling off period.
Yeah.
Bloomberg reports that Disney wants Kimmel back on the air, but Chief Executive Bob Iger and entertainment head Dana Walden have also asked him to tone down his political rhetoric. Kimmel won't apologize, nor does he want to be muzzled or censored. He also doesn't want to put 200 employees out of work or give Trump a scalp. At this
And Kimmel, perfect example of...
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
point, if Kimmel ends up making an apology, no one is going to believe that it's genuine. But if he doesn't apologize, Sinclair and Nexstar will continue to preempt the show, and then Disney will have no choice but to cancel Jimmy Kimmel Live. Womp womp.
Tough.
So I think we really need to make very clear that the First Amendment does not allow us, the FCC, to tell broadcasters what they can broadcast. Personally, I'd rather not speak ill of the dead, but I understand Jimmy Kimmel is a satirist and a comedian. I saw the clip. He did not make any unfounded claims, but he did make a joke.
Huh?
One
Did not make any unfounded claims? Lady.
Now she what?
Man, well, you ain't got a lot of stuff that.
It's just a delusion. It's just rage bait. That's all it is. It's just rage bait. And when it goes public and mainstream on the news, then you know you've lost your country.
Oh Lord, that is so crazy. Just said, what you? I didn't hear anything that was unfounded news. I'm like, what? That was the main thing. Like that was the main part, news distortion. But I guess you heard the FCC's argument. He's like, oh, well, what news distortion? Your news distortion. Well, then that means she also believes that the shooter was MAGA. She also believes in that.
that others may even find crude.
That was Anna Gomez, a Biden-appointed FCC commissioner, saying Jimmy Kimmel was making a joke, and he didn't make any unfounded claims. Gomez's term ends on July 1st, 2026, which can't come fast enough.
To recap, Kimmel made a joke on air where he suggested that the man who killed Charlie Kirk in that awful murder was a supporter of the MAGA movement. Now, that is not true. Kimmel was wrong on the facts, at least as he suggested them in the joke.
What joke?
Joke. There was no joke. That man said that point blank. The joke was him making fun of Trump's grieving process. I mean, the claim was that the shooter was MAGA. He said that outright as if it was a fact.
Or maybe I'm missing something. Let's play the Kimmel clip again.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
It's like, bro.
Joke in the room with us now, Chris? But look, there seems to be a concerted effort by the left to downplay the severity of what Kimmel said. You can't go after him for making a joke. Here's Tim Miller from The Bulwark to explain why what Kimmel said was funny.
What he is saying here is that the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize the kid as anything other than one of them. the joke is about how MAGA is out there being super desperate to, try to use this.
This guy was on Kamala Harris's campaign, and I swear to God, for the entire campaign, this guy looked like a wreck. The man looked like a complete wreck the entire campaign. And then also, it's really hard to listen to a man with pearls around his neck. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you.
Their political advantage.
Oh, wow. I get it now. Thanks, Tim.
What we're seeing just in the last 48 hours, even before, but really in the last 48 hours, is the single biggest attack on free speech by state actors I've ever seen in my life, unfolding before our eyes.
Okay. But Jimmy Kimmel's so-called joke was not about criticizing the government. Kimmel was making a statement that was blatantly false. And there are rules set by Congress about lying on public airwaves.
Look, I'm honestly, this is very concerning. I think first, Jimmy Kimmel is a late night host. He's a comedian. We have
on public airways.
Yes, on public airways. I mean, if he did this on YouTube, Instagram, not on public airways, he'd have been cool. It'd been all good. But no, since he's on public airways, he's at the mercy of the affiliates.
Folks,
and he's on ABC. He's on ABC at that, which claims to be a news company.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he's on the late night slot of that news company's fucking programming. He is still on a news company, which gets special protections because they're supposed to tell the truth.
Ain't that the truth?
And when you're not saying this isn't a joke, then nothing about that was humorous. Jokes are funny because they're true. When things aren't true, you just look at someone and be like, huh?
He's like, yeah, the joke don't make sense.
But right to say what's on their mind, and certainly in a monologue on a late night show.
He's a comedian. He should be able to say what he wants on late night TV, right? No, he doesn't have that right. That's the whole point. And as a congressman, Robert Garcia should know that Congress passed the Communications Act of 1934, which regulates what you can and can't say. Why do you think the FCC exists?
It is outrageous. It's a page right out of Xi's playbook. This is just despicable, disgusting, and against.
Because back in the day, the news was like the Wild Wild West. Like, to be quite honest with you, and there was a whole lot of salacious material. People were literally writing hit pieces about each other all over. But, SEC came along and people had to stop saying salacious things and had to come with the facts.
Democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear. That is not what democracies do. That is what autocracies do. And it doesn't matter
good thing we're not in a democracy.
Kimmel or not. He has the right to free speech.
2.5 years earlier.
Last night, Fox News aired one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen in the entire history of cable television. Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
And did Tucker Carlson actually get fired? Yes. Did Tucker Carlson get suspended? No. So where was y'all criticism during that? That's what I'm saying. That's why we're not really hearing you guys about this stuff, because it's like, dog, y'all literally sat here and watched Tucker Carlson get fired for what you guys are complaining about. Kimmel was not fired. Kimmel was not fired. He was suspended for his own rhetoric. This man was actually fired because the government called upon it.
And from letting him go on again and again and again.
And he's going to come back tonight with another segment.
Tucker Carlson.
Fox News should tell him not to. Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, tell Carlson not to run a second segment.
Dang, are we yelling Jimmy Kimmel's name in Congress, talking about he should be, taken off the air and all that good stuff? Show should be
canceled. No, rules to thee, not for me.
Exactly.
They don't care about the Constitution. They only care about the Constitution because we care about the Constitution, and they can score some political points that way. They don't care about violating anybody's rights when it comes to, I don't know, COVID.
Let's be real. Y'all didn't care about free speech back then.
Nah.
So, and here's the thing. This ain't a free speech violation. This is not a free speech violation with Kimmel, but it definitely was a free speech violation back then with Tucker. Because, I mean, you're saying the man's name in Congress. I mean, let's be real. What's not putting more pressure than that? I mean, this man went on a TV show and said, you know what? I might do something. This man's over here in front of Congress going like y'all need to do something. Which one's worse?
Of lies. You know it's a lie.
So when Tucker Carlson lies, it's bad. But when Jimmy Kimmel lies, he can say what he wants because free speech. Got it. So 1 month after Chuck Schumer called for Fox News to take Tucker Carlson off the air, Fox News terminated Tucker's contract. Where was the media outrage over the trampling of Tucker's free speech?
Tucker good now, man. He's good. He's blown up on YouTube. He's doing all right. He done moved on to better things.
Well, here's Jimmy Kimmel on the matter.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But
you know what? That was actually kind of funny.
I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is.
So when Tucker is taken off the air, it's time for a celebration.
I mean, according to the left, guys, we all work for Russia. I mean, during the election, you know how much people kept saying, oh, this is a Russia-sponsored chat. Oh, Russia pays for this. I'm like, okay, man, okay.
But when Jimmy Kimmel is taken off the air, it's trampling on free speech. And remember when Jimmy Kimmel celebrated Donald Trump, a sitting president, being banned from all social media?
It's been unusually quiet over the past few days because Trump has been banned from Twitter permanently. Trump has been suspended from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even Snapchat. But don't worry, Mr. President, there are still plenty of apps you do have access to. You still have Spotify to drown out the sound of millions of people cheering as you leave.
Wow.
Who says female comedians aren't funny?
Not only did Trump get banned from Twitter, Google, Apple, and Amazon removed the Parler app.
Celebrating this man being deplatformed, pretty much violating his free speech, and you're celebrating it. But you want everybody to champion behind you for free speech?
Not to mention all of that shit was done under the behest of the FBI.
Ooh, and that's what makes it 10 times worse. It's just like, bro. It's just terrible. Like the fact that they even want to take this argument is just like, y'all need to take a seat. Like if this is the case, then y'all are being cowards under the Democrats, and now you want to stand up when Trump's doing it. It's crazy.
Oh,
here's the thing, though, Trump is not even doing it.
And then right on the message for Democrats, right after they did this, the left went and shot up ABC.
I mean, well, oh yeah, they start going out and protest.
No, they literally did a drive-by shooting on ABC.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I did not know that one. Yeah. Because I knew they were protesting for Kimmel outside of ABC, but okay.
From their platforms. Parler is where all the right-wingers gather to post QAnon nonsense and misspell the word parlor.
Yep. Jimmy Kimmel celebrated the suspension of the Parler app, which affected the free speech of millions of Americans. Jimmy Kimmel didn't give a damn about your free speech, but they want you to care about whether he's on late night TV or not. Yeah, right.
And no one was more upset about Parler going away than a sneaky little congressman named Devin.
But it's more than just the financial aspect of that. Republicans have no way to communicate. I have 3 million followers on Parler. Tonight, I will no longer be able to communicate with those people.
I mean, other than being on Fox News right now. Trumpers are complaining bitterly that they're being silenced. In fact, they won't shut up about being silenced. On their 3 propaganda TV networks, on 1,000 conservative radio shows, all over the internet, they are screaming about being silenced. They won't be silent about being silenced.
So by that reasoning, Jimmy Kimmel isn't being silenced. He can always make an appearance on CNN or MS Now or The View or even Don Lemon's TikTok.
This is really scary. The First Amendment is over.
Anyway, that's it for now. Please.
I mean, bro, Don Lemon is like such a bad faith debater. I mean, oh my God. Terrible. But hey, let's get right into this. With Tom Homan pretty much, well, what was he going off about? Oh, yes, Newsom's